here with Takuma Tate, and I'll turn it over to him.
Yes, I'm Takuma Tate. I'm a Baltimore-based artist. Been painting for some of maybe 40 or 50 years here in Baltimore. My work is steeped in African tradition, pre-slavery symbolism. Okay. I've shown several galleries. Right now I'm working on the Table and Artists Alliance, where we have 4 shows a year. We also do a couple of other ventures as we're putting on the Rasta in the Park, 27th of this month. So this is me and this is my work.
All right. Talk to me about the painting behind you.
This is called Journey, and it's a representation of, in some African tribes, young men or in age groups have to go out and slay a lion before they can become a man in the tribal system. So this is what this painting is about. It's about their journey.
All right. Now, is this a particular tribe in Africa, or is
basically most of it is Maasai?
The Maasai.
Maasai.
Okay. All right. And how long did it take you to put this painting together?
I usually do a drawing. It may take anywhere to a year to get it on canvas. So I do a drawing and I do some research. I do research on all my pieces. So I go back to the country in question. I research the tribes and the customs. I do a lot of things with Hindu symbolism also. Painting next to it. It's called Dambala, which is representing the serpents and the many images and things that deal with the serpent. In other words, the many moons of the serpent.
Okay. All right. Now, who are some of your influences as far as painters?
Painters, James Phillips, Lawrence Jacobs, especially John Biggers. I grew up with just this great fascination for Biggers and his work. So my work sometimes sort of maybe emulate Biggers a little bit simply because he's one of my favorites.
Okay. Now, are these African American painters or
they're African Americans?
Okay. Now, you have any European influences at all? All right. Takuma Tate. Thank you very much for your time. I'm here with Scott Speck, and I'll let him tell you about his work.
It's very nice to be here with all of you, and I do large format film photography with pinhole cameras. And I have 4 photos featured here. They're all extremely wide angles. This camera has a field of view of about 160 degrees. Because it's a pinhole camera, it's just a small hole in the camera itself and not using a lens. Exposure times are very long, so this is a 32-minute exposure. And this is a 30-second exposure. So basically, I have to always have the camera mounted on a tripod. I developed the film negatives myself. They're 4 by 5 inches in size. I then scan the film negatives and do some digital post-processing. And then these are actually digital prints made from the photographs. I enjoy a lot of architecture photographs. Metal textures and stones show up really interestingly. And over the past year, I've really played a lot more with portrait photography with pinhole camera. So it's a lot of fun. Pinhole camera offers a very unique and somewhat surreal view of reality. I think that's what attracts me most to it, is that it gives that surreal view. It sort of makes the real real.
Right. Awesome. Just looking at these pictures, I mean, it's really hard to believe that it's basically a cardboard box with a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of people find that hard to believe, especially given the clarity.
Exactly.
The way to create a clearer pinhole photo is to have a smaller pinhole. That's basically the key. If you have a smaller pinhole, you'll get a clearer photo.
Gotcha.
Whereas a lot of people, if they remember like grammar school experiences with pinhole, those were usually larger pinholes that you got very fuzzy pictures on.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you very much.
All right, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Terry, and I'll let him take it from here.
Okay, I just happened to run into Albert on the street this afternoon when we're getting ready for our grand opening. He said, hey, can I come by and do a story on the grand opening for Street Talk Baltimore? I said, it's a great idea. And I think this gallery is a great idea. I was a county kid that was transplanted into the city. fell in love with city life, being able to do the block parties, shop on Washington Boulevard, go downtown and shop. You know, as a county kid, we had to drive 20 miles to the grocery store. But guess what? Here in Pigtown, I could walk down the street, grab a snack, or go to the grocery store. And the gallery is a part of the rebirth of Pigtown. I see Pigtown as dying. It was a blue-collar neighborhood when I worked here in the 70s.
Okay.
Hard-working, you know, maybe kind of rough, beer drinking. You know what? When everybody worked, the neighborhood died. And I look at Pigtown now as an infant.
Okay.
It's got to be helped very gently.
Right.
With economic redevelopment, public safety, you know, getting the boulevard fixed back up, and the homes. The gallery is a new part to the neighborhood. Will we go through a form of gentrification like some other neighborhoods in Baltimore? I hope not. I moved here in 1977. Like I said, fell in love with city life. And I don't know what else to say. That I think what's happening is great. The gallery is going to be part of that.
Okay. Do you see places like the gallery and, as you mentioned, other new renovations and things like that? Do you see that as a glimmer of a rebirth of this area?
I think so. I mean, I was fortunate enough to work for the community starting in 1999 up to 2004. And just in this area right around the gallery, we took an inventory of properties. There was actually 309 vacant properties open for casual entry, which was being used for every illicit activity you could think of.
Right.
I think you can count the number of vacant properties on one hand today.
Awesome.
And the eclecticness and the demographics of the neighborhood have not really changed. You know, in the 2000 census, you know, Pigtown was one of the most racially diverse, one of the most culturally diverse, and one of the most economically diverse neighborhoods in the whole country.
Wow.
And I think that's great. We're not going to change that.
Right.
I've lived here since 1977, and I'm not going to.
The name Pigtown. I'm not from Baltimore, so.
That could be a sore subject bringing that up. You know.
All right.
I might step on some toes. Somebody, and it wasn't this neighborhood, tried to change our name to Washington Village. Guess what? We don't want to be changed to Washington Village. We will never be Washington Village. You know, there's an old joke that we'll give Washington Village 3 blocks of a neighborhood further south of here if they want it.
Right.
But we're staying Pigtown.
Okay. Awesome.
It's been Pigtown for, you know, hundreds of years. It's historically been correctly called Pigtown.
Okay.
Actually, the new folks that are moving to Pigtown don't know it's spelled Pigtown. We've actually dropped it. But as long as they call it Pigtown, I'm happy. And if you check it even further back, it can be spelled Piggtwone.
Okay.
It's great. And, you know, you've spoken with Patrice, you know, and Mark. And Mark and Patrice have, like, graciously, you know, gave us this space to try this. And we know it's not the first time somebody's tried this in the city, but it's the first somebody has tried it in Pigtown. And I think it will complement the other plans that are for Washington Boulevard. As you can see, our business district is very small.
Yes.
We got about a block.
Right.
So we struggle for everything we do.
All right, Terry. Thank you very much for your time. And viewers, thank you for tuning in to Street Talk Baltimore, and I'll see you next time.